Goodbye, California. And hello, Texas. Time for a barbecue pit stop. So we have stopped at Valentinos Tex Mex BBQ. This place is very popular and has many accolades in the food industry. Now, ideally, we would have stopped around breakfast time so we can get the real deal Holyfield, which is a brisket burrito taco. But we are here around lunchtime, so we're going to get some regular food. Alright, so we got a half a pound of beef brisket and a quarter pound of the original sausage. There's nothing like barbecue accompanied by a Mexican Coke and a Texas Big Red. Alright, so that is Valentina's Tex-Mex BBQ. That was amazing. Much better than any of the barbecue that we've had at Lockhart or
hand down,
wherever.
Smitty's, Cruise, and they've been around forever.
Yeah.
We respect the history. It's good. It's still good barbecue, but we have a new favorite here now.
Yeah, that brisket was so moist.
Holy
and
smokes.
So much flavor, and it wasn't over smoked like some of the places do. And that was even the lean and the fatty pieces. And then the original sausage, it wasn't really spicy at all. It was nice and smoky sausage.
Oh, it was
has that
so good.
snap on the. It was so good.
Highly recommend.
So highly recommend. Hopefully we can come back one time around breakfast. Like I said,
Yeah.
they do this like brisket egg taco burrito thing.
With beans, brisket, eggs, salsa, pico de gallo. They throw everything on there, and it sounds and looks so good. But they stop breakfast at 11 a.m. every day. We waited about an hour for this today.
And like most places in Texas, apparently they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So that's also a hard time because we seem to come at the beginning of the week all the time before we go on down towards Brownsville. But really enjoy Valentina's. Thumbs up. All right, we have left Austin and we have made it to San Antonio for our next food stop. And here we are at Chamoy City Limits. We're going to get some snow cones from here, or also known as raspas. Alright, so what did you get from Chamoy City Limit?
Something crazy. My culture is known for the crazy snacks, and here's a great example of one of them. This is a salted watermelon snow cone with 2 different types of chamoy chili liquid or sauce. And inside I decided to mix chopped up pickles and gummy bears. And it has some Lucas on top, which is it's a chili powder. And I've been wanting to try these for such a long time now. They started off at a baseball stadium and food trucks, and they weren't open all the time. And they are one of the best snow cones in San Antonio. They have a lot of awards and whatnot, and I'm so excited to try this finally. Yep. That is absolutely delicious. I love sour things, so it's sweet, sour, tangy, everything you could wish for. Personally, my opinion in a snow cone.
I went a little more reserved. So in the bottom of this cup is supposed to be, I guess, ice cream, which I thought the ice cream would be on top. And this is a strawberry snow cone on top. Not as crazy as Vanessa's, but still just as good. Okay, so Chamoy City Limits, is it worth a stop in San Antonio?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I've been waiting 5 years to try this, and it lived up to the hype. It is so good. If you like crazy flavors, they have simple flavors too, and I highly recommend those too. I'm sure they're just as good. Like Chad, your strawberry, Did you like it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. The ice cream was down in the bottom, so once you're able to mix that in, I guess the closest thing to it would be like gelati at Rita's. But yeah, it's cool to get it in and get all the little ice crispies in your ice cream.
But yeah, mine was perfect. It was sweet, sour, tangy, spicy. All the things I personally like eating. Thankfully, I don't have this often anymore because my stomach would hate me. But this is fantastic. It's so refreshing and it's great. I'm glad I finally got the chance to try this place out.
Yep, it's a good stop.
Good morning from San Antonio, Texas.
Good morning.
We are here at La Panaderia, an elevated traditional Mexican bakery.
Yep, and we're very excited to check this out. It has high reviews, so let's go on inside and get some pastries. So the pastries that we ended up picking up is a vanilla concha, which if you've seen some of our other videos, we've gotten the conchas before. It's basically sweet bread with this sugary topping on it. And this is a tres leches croissant
With strawberries.
with strawberries in the middle. This is a very unique one that they have here, and we're very excited to try this one. So for our coffee today, we got the Cafe Bonbon, which is basically a cappuccino with sweetened condensed milk, is the way that we were told. Finally, we picked up a breakfast torta. This is a torta huevos con chorizo, which is eggs and chorizo sausage, and it has a black bean spread on the bread. All right, so what do you think of the torta?
It's so good. The telera roll is so flaky and it's so soft and crunchy. It's perfect texture. The chorizo's cooked perfectly. And the black bean spread is very flavorful.
We just had the mini concha. The craftsmanship of the pastry is excellent. It's definitely an elevated pastry, but in my opinion, I think the conchas that we've gotten at other panderias, like the ones in Delaware or in Brownsville, the bread itself actually has some flavoring to it. Where the only flavoring on this one is in that crust on top. That's where the vanilla flavoring. The bread was just like a fluffy yeast roll, but still was good. And while I have the coffee in my hand, oh, it's so good. The coffee itself is kind of like a medium roast, but it has full body. It's really good. And you kind of get that sweetness of that sweet condensed milk in that foam. This is definitely good coffee. And finally, the strawberry tres leches croissant. This is fantastic. Just as good as we expected it to be. Next stop, Crumbl Cookies. We've heard good things about these cookies. We'll be the judge of that. All right, we got our box of cookies. We got a 6-pack. Ta-da! This is what we got. So we have the apple pie, a pumpkin pie, so they're not really cookies. So we got 2 pies. And we got a cranberry white chocolate chip. We have their standard chocolate chip in the right-hand corner. Got a s'mores there in the top middle. And the carrot cake cookie in the top left corner. They look good and they smell really good. It'll be great to try them, but we will not be doing that in the parking lot. We will try those in our Airbnb a little later. So after second observation, these are not pie crust. They are cookies that look like pie crust. So this looks to be kind of like a spiced cookie. And then this one looks just like a normal sugar cookie. We'll try these pies first because they're the ones that aren't going to travel too well. All right, the apple pie cookie. So the cookie base itself was a spiced oatmeal cookie. And then they put the pumpkin pie filling on top. I wouldn't say it's my favorite, though this is our first one. The apple pie filling actually was very more powerful than the cookie. The cookie was really just a vessel, so that's why I tasted the cookie by itself. But it was pretty good. All right, so what's your thought on the pumpkin cookie?
It's a very good flavor. Unfortunately, it's overly sweet for me. They could have used a tad less sugar on the topping part. The cookie's really good, but everything was just a little tiny bit sweet to me, but I enjoyed it.
Okay, so after a couple days, we have finally finished eating all the Crumbl cookies, and we found that we really weren't too impressed. I do still like Taylor chip cookies in Pennsylvania better, but they do have a good one. The carrot cake cookie was outstanding.
That was really good.
It was super soft. It tasted like a carrot cake with the cream cheese frosting. Oh, it was so good.
And I really like their s'mores cookie. It's inside the cookie, they have chocolate chip chunks.
And then the marshmallow.
And the marshmallow and the graham
crackers, yep.
So it's really good. I really like that one. The other ones,
everything's just way too sweet.
It's overly sweet. The cookie's not consistent. The flavors, just, I don't know. And it could be just a cookie. I know they release several different cookies throughout the week, every different week, but the ones we got for this week, they weren't my favorite.
Yeah. So We think Crumble's is okay, but definitely not our favorite place to go get cookies. So good morning, fellow ticket holders again from San Antonio. Today for breakfast, we are going to Mi Tierra, which means my dirt or my land. This is a Mexican restaurant, and we're going to have some of their traditional Mexican breakfasts. It is a cafe and bakery. This establishment was established in 1941 and is right here across from the San Antonio Farmers Market. So you have this nice plaza area here with the banners for decoration. So let's go on inside and check out the restaurant and have some breakfast. So for breakfast, I got the famous chilaquiles with a side of the pork and a red sauce and some refried beans.
And I got their famous chorizo, which the recipe has their family recipe since 1941 with some refried beans and breakfast potatoes.
And it comes with homemade tortillas. This all smells and looks good. Time for breakfast.
We completely forgot to talk about breakfast this morning. We went to Mi Tierra in San Antonio, which is basically translates to my land, my hometown. And it was fantastic. It's been there for 80 years. And I had the chorizo con huevo, which is a family recipe since 1941. And it was excellent. It came with a side of some potatoes and some refried beans. And they had fresh flour tortillas, and they were excellent, really good.
Yep, my chilaquiles, that was their basically one of their other signature dishes, and that was fantastic, even though it was drowned in the cheddar cheese, which the only thing that caused was the tortilla chips to be soggy like instantly. So I wish it wasn't as much cheese, but otherwise there was plenty of flavor to it. The beans were perfect, they looked to be homemade and were fantastic, and then the pork and the adobe red sauce was fantastic this morning, and I loved the breakfast.
Highly recommend that place.
Very big portion still. And then their coffee was fantastic. So definitely a great place in San Antonio for breakfast. I would guess that lunch and dinner should be just as good. So for lunch today, we are stopping in Harlingen, Texas at Gorditas Doña Lula's. So it's a gordita shop. Let's go in and get some gorditas. So our gorditas of choice this is pork and red sauce, like what I had for breakfast this morning. Bean and cheese and ground beef for Vanessa. Also came with a little thing of fideo soup. Ta-da! And some Jamaica agua fresca. All right, we just finished lunch at Gorditas Doña Lula.
Doña Lula.
And those were really good for fast food gorditas. That was fantastic.
Yeah, they're gorditas. It's a little corn masa pocket, and it's filled with various types of meats, cheeses, pork. They could be vegan, vegetarian. I got picadillo, which is ground beef mixed with carrots and potatoes. And you got the asado de puerco, which is pork with red sauce.
Yeah, with an adobe red sauce. That was fantastic. It was just like what was on the side of my breakfast this morning, and I like that. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to get it again. So.
And they're really tiny, so they're perfect. They're perfect size. They're really flavorful, and I really enjoyed them.
And then we had the third one that we shared, which was beans and cheese, which is very simple, but fantastic, made fresh to order. The fideo soup was simple, and it was good too.
Oh yeah, it came with like a little side of fideo.
Because they didn't have any Mexican rice. But yeah, excellent place to stop here in Harlingen on our way down to Brownsville. So for breakfast this morning in Brownsville, we are at the Brownsville Coffee Shop No. 2. This is one of Vanessa's favorite restaurants growing up. And it is an award-winning restaurant here in town. Let's go inside and have some breakfast.
For breakfast, I got their flour tortilla, which is handmade with chorizo, beans, and cheese. That's all I got. It's one of my favorites here.
And I just went with 2 pancakes and bacon. Ooh. It still looks really good. All right, so we just had breakfast at the Brownsville Coffee Shop No. 2, and man, am I full.
It's such a great place, such a local place for 60 years. It's simple, no frill restaurant with good food, made fresh daily. And I've been coming here. I grew up with this place, and I've always loved it.
Yeah, excellent. It's basically just like a regular diner anywhere else. Homemade food, quick and fresh to order. It's excellent. Really good breakfast food. So we are now at 7th Street Cycles and Coffee Shop to pick up some coffee.
It is a It is a bicycle shop with coffee.
Yep, and we love this place. We're gonna go in and get some coffee for the day. Alright, so we've picked up our coffee from 7th and Park Coffee Shop. I guess that's what the name of it is officially. And Vanessa got the Mexican chocolate mocha in cold form. And I just picked up a regular cafe latte with their espresso because their coffee is so good, don't need to add much of anything to it. As Vanessa said, we are going to Blackbeard's to have some golf seafood. Alright, so we're gonna start out with some chips and guacamole before our golf shrimp comes. Alright, so our food has arrived. We got the shrimp 3 ways. So we got it charbroiled, we got it fried, we got it blackened, and that comes with grilled zucchini and a bit of Mexican rice, dinner roll, tartar sauce, and coleslaw. Alright, we just finished lunch at Blackbeard Seafood and it was fantastic.
It was really good. It was the shrimp 3-way was a great way to try all 3 of their types of shrimp there. Yep. They had blackened, charbroiled, and fried. Yep. And it was fantastic, nice and fresh. This establishment has been around since the 70s. It's a staple here on South Padre Island.
And it's definitely worth a stop. Really enjoyed the food. Yeah, this isn't our first time stopping there, and it definitely won't be our last. So Blackbeards is a thumbs up. And there's no other better way to end the evening than with the raspas from NERY snow cones. Vanessa has been coming here a long time, and we always make a stop here when we're in Brownsville. Alright, so from NERY snow cone, I got the banana nuts. I kind of already lost my cherry there. But basically this is pecan flavored ice. Inside there are some bananas, and it's topped with whipped cream and covered with regular pecans, whipped cream, and the cherry. I think I saw her put some sweet cream in there, but this thing is massive. And what'd you get?
I got the chamoy mango. Chamoy, as stated previously, is like a plum and chili sauce, and it's mango ice, and they top it in with chili powder and some lime juice.
Is it good?
It's one of my favorites.
One of your favorites.
It's one of my favorites. This establishment has been around since 1979, I believe. I've been coming here all my life, and I love it. We have crazy snow cone flavors, we have crazy snacks, and they all are very good.
And man, is mine good. It's kind of like a liquid pecan pie because of the pecan ice and then the pecans on top. This is so good. It's something that I never realized I ever needed, and now I know. It's definitely one of my favorites from here now. For breakfast here in Brownsville, we got acai bowls from JuiceUs. So it has acai in the bottom. We got some homemade granola, some coconut flakes. We got strawberries, bananas, blueberries, and topped with peanut butter. Never had them from here before, so we had to give them a try. All right, so we just finished eating our acai bowls from JuiceUs here in Brownsville. And what do you think?
It was really good. Everything was fresh. The store has been, it was established in 2017. Yep. And they have a lot of healthy options there for breakfast, coffee, juices,
regular
protein
smoothies.
bowls, regular smoothies. And it's a really beautiful space. And everyone was super friendly. As soon as we got in, they told us good morning, welcome. And it was a really good vibe in there. And we highly recommend it if you want something a little different for breakfast.
Yeah, really like acai
or for
bowls.
Lunch and dinner too, I forgot.
I really like acai bowls for breakfast. For some reason, there's something so satisfying about being such a cold item. It just hits the spot, and really enjoyed this place. It's a great one to get an acai bowl from. Yep. All right, and for our final meal in Brownsville, we picked up some barbecue from Veras BBQ. And basically, we got some cow cheek.
Cachete.
And we got cow tongue, which is lingua, which if you've seen our Delaware taco video, you know that we eat both of these and they are delicious. And I hear this is a local favorite to get both of these. So I am excited to try them for the first time. And these are even locally homemade tortillas. That's what you get when you're here in the valley. You don't have to get the Missions or the other packaged ones.
So we just had Vera's barbecue and it was absolutely delicious. It's a great way to start the morning here in South Texas. It's always been something I've grown up with, and they did a really good job with their barbecue.
Yeah, like I said, this is a very famous or popular place here in
They've
Brownsville.
gotten so many awards across the state. People have come. The Travel Channel did a special on them.
And actually, he just started a guest book, so we were the third person to sign his guest book because he has people coming from all over the place to check him out, and he wants to keep track and talk to the people and find out where they come from. And that was really cool. And yeah, the food is excellent. Really liked it, and definitely worth the stop for some tacos. Thank you for watching our video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below.